Well, good morning, everyone.
Good
Morning.
morning.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Peace Room. For those of you guys that haven't heard about us, I'll go do a quick share of my screen and tell you a little bit about us. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Can you still see it? Is it big or did it go smaller?
Well, now
went
it's
to
got
presenter
smaller.
Okay, we'll just go here. All right, so I'll try one more thing. Okay, now that's good, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Well, I've met some of you before, which is really
for those of you who don't know, Sisters Rising has a board of all sisters. And the idea of Sisters Rising came from Sister Irene O'Neill. She just had a vision to be able to connect sisters around the world, that more good could come with you guys being able to be, or you women being able to be connected, and also being able to understand the work that you do, that we may be able to promote it and get more recognition. So these are the ladies that are on the board right now. The two main focuses of Sisters Rising is to unite sisters and bring awareness to all the work that you do. I'm going to spit, since some of you guys have already seen this, we'll skip around a little bit. So we have a public website where we will go ahead and promote some of the work that you share on the Peace Room. You can share work on the Peace Room, not all of it'll be shared. There's certain ways to go ahead and share it, but I will explain that when we get more into the Peace Room. But this is what it would look like on our website. So if you look over here, we have the Guardian Angels. It's in Ecuador. It's about health, and they have a funding goal of 65,000, and currently we're at 26,000. So each one will have its own little tab. People will be able to click on it and learn more about, what is happening. You will share pictures. You can do quotes. It's a good way of just explaining what is happening and how you're serving your community. The second part of it is what we're going to really focus on today, and that is the Peace Room. And this is a platform. We sometimes describe it as the Facebook for sisters. So it's a private, only for sisters. And this is a way where you can chat with other sisters. So you can send messages back and forth. You can talk about the work that you do. You can ask for a funding request, and those are the ones that we can put on the website. So it's really just to connect everybody, and you can learn from each other. So that was the big thing, is to go ahead and share your work where it might be able to benefit other sisters around the world. Currently, right now, we are working with some sisters that are on the border of Mexico and US, and that's been going well to understand the work and some of the needs that are needed at the border. Okay, so that was just a quick overview of that. So anybody have any questions on who we are, what we do? We've been in existence for about 4 years now, but really just building the foundation of the company. The platform that we built, the Peace Room, is very intense, and it's constantly growing, and we're constantly making improvements to it. But if we are ready, are we ready to go into the Peace Room? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Sorry, I have like multiple screens, so it takes me, I gotta move my screens around all the time to get it in the place I want. Okay. Can people see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Peace Room. Welcome. We have this map that is interactive. So right now, just to let you know, I'm on the browse section. Your dashboard, that would be where you have the programs that you have entered into the system. So you can click here to browse, or you can just go to the browse on the tab. This map is a little interactive, so you can see I can move it around. If I go into Nigeria and click on it, I look under documents and it looks like I have 2 programs here. And one of them, this is an active campaign, means I have a funding request. I also can look at users. So I can click on users, and these are my users that I have in Nigeria. So if you had a situation where you wanted to see, you know, what a sister was doing in a certain area, you can go ahead and click on that to see if we have users in there. You may also come up here and you can sort users and look for users on the platform. That, let's say you were interested on users that were dealing with human trafficking. So I go to hit users on my dropdown, on this dropdown. These are all the social injustices that we have listed on the system. And when you register, you would click on as many of them that you work with. But if I was going to human trafficking, and then I go to view, that's not right. That would, oh, because I'm in Nigeria. Hold on. Let me clear my tabs. And let's say I'm going to do users again, and I'm going to do human trafficking. And I'm going to hit this review results. And now these are the sisters that I have that are working on human trafficking. And you can see the countries that they are, where they live. Makes sense, everybody?
Yep.
Aboard? Okay. I can also, so when I go back here, I will this is a reset button, so I can reset my tabs. And now I can also sort by programs. If I wanted a program, I can also click, you know, let's say empowering women, and then I can view the results. And these are the programs that we have on the website that are empowering women. When we go into them, let's see, we'll go to Dawn's place. This tells you about the program. So you can see what it's dealing with, the person that's in charge of it, the summary of what's happening, the root cause of the injustice that they're dealing with, and how the sisters are responding to it. The other thing is you can add media. So now people can go ahead and see what's going on, and they can hear from you of what's happening in their communities. If you're interested in talking to somebody, or to make a comment on the program, you can easily add a comment right here. But and Patty just added some pictures there too. But the other thing too is a funding request. You can see that this one, because it has one active campaign, means that they have a funding request. So if I go to funding, I can view it well, you can't edit it. I can only edit it, but I can view it. So then we see here what is happening. Here's the 42,000 that they're requiring. And here's some more information that we asked them to fill out. So does that give you an overview a little bit of what the system can do? Because then I'll go into another process.
Yep, that's fine.
We're all good? All right. So this is where, when you first get onto the website, the first thing that we ask that you do is you go to your profile. So if I go to my profile, I can go ahead and edit it. And I just put the Sisters Rising logo in there. But you can add your profile picture, which would be great. What we are finding out from donor bases is they love to hear about you. They love to see who you are. They love to see the sisters that they're helping. So adding your profile picture would be great. Then you add your name, your phone number. This should all come in from when you register. Same kind of thing in here. And just like I said, just make sure that you write something about yourself so people can learn a little bit more about you. So that's the first thing. This privacy mode, mine is off. I'm not worried about my safety with my information being on here, but some of you that might be in areas where you don't want your name to be out there, you have the ability to hit this on button. And what happens is you'll get, right here, it says screen name. You'll get a screen name. Therefore, your identity won't be nailed down. And when you look down here too, when we add location, we don't go specifically to the address that you give us or the location. We have it a little bit more broad. So like if you saw when in the United States, there was probably 8 sisters from the United States on it, but it didn't say exact locations in some of them on the map. So The next thing that you would do when you came onto the website is you would tell a story. So you'd come down here to create a document and you'd create a program. If you had an emergency, it would be a crisis alert, same process, but most likely you're going to be dealing with a program. A program is so, to give you an example, I was talking to the sister out in Milwaukee. She deals with sex education and how it's like the basic step for human trafficking. Like if we can talk about sex education and the process of love and infatuation and friendship, you know, it can help, you know, give women a better identity of what love is and all those other things. So she wanted to share a program and share what she does. So she would come in here and she would name her program. She'd say the location, the categories that her program deals with. She'd put her contact information. And then also too, if she's collaborating, if she's working with other sisters in her community, she can also enter their name there. She will give the summary of the situation right here. You would add the root cause of why it is happening in your community and what your response to the situation is. At all times, we do ask you to add pictures, because if we ever do take it, you ever do need funding, we ask that we have pictures to go ahead and add to the website. So when you're filling this out, you have the ability to save it as a draft if you don't have time to finish it, or if you need to go back and get information, or when all the boxes are filled out correctly, this button submit will come up. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is a new platform and it's a very, very intricate platform. So we're still working out some of the bugs. We got most of them out, but you know, if you ever run into any situation that you don't understand what is happening, like you feel like you're filling out all the boxes, but you're having problems, there is a question mark up here in the upper right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just click on that and an email would go directly to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me in the chat box. So if you went to browse and we went to users, so remember we can do this drop down, or I can click here and say browse users, and I put, you would pull me up from in here. Oh wait, here's a better example of it. My contacts. You can pull me up and you can start a conversation with me. Oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong box. My messages, sorry. My messages, you can go ahead and see. So Amy's reached out to me and I've been texting her. This is Maria. So we can start a conversation. So once again, let's go to browse. I'm going to browse users and I'm going to pull up and then I'm going to go ahead and click here, pull her up, and I'm going to hit message. The reason it didn't show up before is I can't message myself.
Mm-hmm.
So Anne, I can click message and I can talk to her. Or let's say, I mean, Anne's an amazing sister, right? Let's say I just want to follow the work she does, right? So I want to understand what she's doing, maybe learn because you think she's amazing at dealing with human trafficking. I can also follow her. So when she enters things in, I get updated to it, shows up on my dashboard, and I get to like really be more involved in what she's doing and reading more about it. The other thing too is you can add a person to your contacts. So that way, when I go to my contact, it'll be easy. I don't have to go through the browse and find her. I can just add her to my contacts. And so I can easily find her without having to browse. Okay. You guys can't delete a sister. That is only me, but we are in the admin field. So don't get any ideas of deleting anybody. Okay. So now we had talked about how to enter in a program, right? Let's go back to our browse. And let's say you have entered a program and you want to add a funding request, okay? So if I click on this one that's already existing, the person can go ahead and we see about the job, we see the pictures they added. I put a funding, and you hit funding over here, and it says create a new funding campaign. This is very similar to entering a program, but she can go ahead and fill out these. We have some boxes that they need to fill out. The one thing that we ask if you need a funding request is that this project can be duplicated in other cities. You can expand the number of people that you are reaching, or and you have to be addressing the root cause of that situation, right? So let's say you constantly need beds and you're asking for money for beds and beds, but really the issue is we need a medical center there, right? Or we need some, so the root cause of it was right, is to go ahead and fix the medical system there, to go ahead and so we don't need as many beds. So really just trying to address the root causes of that situation to make true change. So you would check one of these boxes, you check both of them if needed. Then you go, you title that program. You can use it as the same as your program title, but you can do a different title. Who operates it, the roles that you play in it, the campaign goal, the funds needed, and how many people that, or how the funds will be used. So if we work with India and we work with a school out there that needs some scholarship money, they needed new playground equipment. So then you just put what that money, what the dollar amounts you needed and how you would use it. You can add a date if needed, but you do not need to add a date. And then also give us an understanding of how many people, if you were able to get this money, that you would be able to serve. The one thing different about entering a funding request in the program, and I think you ladies are very familiar with it, is you want to add a letter from your congregation, just so the congregation knows that you're working on this program, you're filling this out for a money request. So that's what you would need there. Just a Word document, and you can add it in there. At any time, if you need to sample that letter, we can go ahead and get you a sample too that somebody can sign in your behalf. If we were able to raise the money for you, how would you want it? Would you want it a check or wire transfer, and then the information on that? The great thing about this, if you do not want to add new photos or don't have any new photos specific to that funding request, you can click this box here and you can copy from your parent program. So that way you don't have to re-enter the pictures. And the same thing, these buttons wouldn't be shown on your behalf, but I am, as the admin, can see them. But once again, you can save the draft if you didn't have time to finish it, or you can submit. So once you go ahead and fill that out, and actually anytime you fill out anything, so anytime you fill out the, once you try to register onto the platform, once you put in a program, once you put in a funding request, crisis alert, anything, that goes to Sisters Rising, and we review it. The reason is we want to try to make sure that the information on the system is pretty consistent among the sisters. So the questions are being answered the same. So people, when they're looking at it, can go ahead and understand, what they're going to be getting in return. When somebody submits a program, if there's some things that we want to change, we had some sisters attach a Word document to the picture section, and there's tons of pictures in the document, but we asked have the pictures there, right? So we'll go back to them and say, hey, can you please add the pictures? If they're struggling with that, we can help them. I had a message back and forth with Sister Florence out in Nigeria. She needed help on it. So I'm like, go ahead and email me the pictures and then I will load them for you. But loading them is similar to how you would load a picture into a document. So it's nothing crazy difficult there. So that's about the funding request. The other item I really wanted to go into a little bit here with you is the resource library.
Before you go to that, Kelly,
Oh,
down
yes.
at the bottom, it had about, did it have about bank details?
Yeah, the wire details or a check. Where would we send the check to?
Okay.
Wire transfer.
And is that on the public space?
No. So that's a very good question. What we do is we take only certain boxes. So
Yes.
I'll show you when, if you want, on our public website, you can see what we've done is that there's only certain fields that get dragged over.
Okay.
So obviously, yeah, we're not sending out any bank information. The congregation letter is not sent on the public website. It's the pictures, it's the causes that you're addressing, the funding that you need, what it's going to be used for, and the summary of the situation and that. So, yep, none of that's transferred over. Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Kelly, I have a question about the level of the person who submits it. I'm imagining a good project in a rural zone in Africa, for example. The internet's bad. They may not be able to load pictures without a lot of difficulty. They may not have had much experience in writing up a project. Are they the right person to do it? Or does someone in the regional group or the, on their behalf and put the name, but then how does it get linked to the user and the program? It's the relationship between people who would be maybe in a development office or a treasurer's office who would be supporting it, but might have to support it more in terms of some of the practical issues. So who is that attached to is my question.
So you bring up a good question too. So when we were opening and there's two different ways to answer this, because are the people that are able to load it in, are they sisters or are they not sisters?
Yeah.
Are they all sisters?
Let's imagine they're all sisters. Yeah.
Okay. So when we were creating a program, I'm going to go back to create a document and I'm going to go back to program. If you look here, you can put the contact person and you can put the collaborators. So it depends on if the sister that's out in the rural area will probably not use the system, but they need to have a program on, then I would have the person that's entering it be the contact person, and they can put the collaborator, they got the sister in the rural area out there so they know. And then that person too, the one that's entering it, would put in, so like the location, they would put actually the location the person's in, they can put all the information in on the program, and they're just listed as the contact person, but the other sister would be the collaborator. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We had one person that was trying to add it for another sister and put it in their name. And the struggle with that is, this is a very secure network. Obviously you can understand we take security very seriously, and we don't want this information out. And, it's just a safe place for you guys to communicate, or you ladies to communicate. So I would say that you get a security code when you log on, but this person was, had to log out of her login to log into persons. And every time you do that, a new code is entered. So the first time you log on, you'll do the code and you'll never have to do it again, probably for like 365 days. However, when you log in and out of the platform, like not shut it down, I can turn off the PeaceRoom and I won't have to put a code back in when I log back on. But if I log out, so I can come up here to my name and I can click on it and I can log out. When I log out, that is when I enter, I have to log back in. So when you do it for somebody else under their name, you have to go back and forth, and the code is getting sent to them, and it's kind of a hassle. So I would prefer that the main person just owns that, but they put the other person's name in it. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, if somebody, I am late. I am so sorry. I just arrived.
No problem. Oh, you hit mute. You hit mute.
Okay. I was just wondering if somebody can speak English, Spanish with a group, because I am with talking about this platform with somebody from Mexico, and I am not sure that they know English enough to deal with you, for example, So is it a translation in Spanish or available?
I have the onboarding and how to get onto the system in Spanish. I am dealing with usually when a sister, a sister that speaks Spanish will go ahead and bring a translator. So I've done a couple Zooms with a Spanish translator. I am doing another one coming up next week on the 15th, where a translator will be on site. So that's usually how we do it. And remember, when they come up here, they can change the language. So if they hit, so this system will look in Spanish for them. So if we were able to log them on, we might be able to, because I can point to things and it'll be in their language, but if I'm pointing to them, they can see it. So I took 7 years of Spanish, very long time ago. Lost hope.
You know, sometimes they know English, but probably not enough, you know, to fill out this kind of paper.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering.
Right. You know, it is actually interesting. One sister out of Nigeria was struggling to get on. So we did the Zoom, but it was a little sketchy, the internet, and she was doing it on your phone. It was complicated for her. So what I did is I just gave her a form and I filled it out she filled it out. She sent it back to me. I onboarded her and then I sent in her login and her code. And I am happy to do that. And that would be easier to translate in Spanish. But I do have the instructions in Spanish. So, and then, like I said, if they can get on board, it's much easier because they can have their system up and look at it. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Kelly. This is very, okay, this is very, very helpful.
Oh, good. Any other questions?
Kelly, sorry.
Yeah.
I am really interesting, but my English is not very strong also. I am French speaking person, so, but I can a little bit manage English. But if it's, you have the possibility also in French, I can attend it again.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Once again, I believe I have the, some instructions in French,
Okay.
but we are, these are all things that we are constantly working on. So I love the input, and we are looking at doing instructions, videos, and I'd hope to get them done, you know, probably in the first half of the next year. And that way we can send the videos in the multiple different languages.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Kelly, I wanted to tell you, if it's for basic, I can help, you know, in French, if I don't want to enter, don't want to be, you know, intrusive, but, you know, if you need something to put together something in French, I can help.
Oh, that would be great. That would be, yeah, that'd be great. I have to double check. I think that the old version of the onboarding was in French, but I'm not sure if the new one was. So if I have any fields left to fill out, I'll send them to you. And that would be great.
It's really a pleasure.
Perfect. Actually, I can even probably send you the link. It has the English, the Spanish, the French, Swahili. I'm not sure why that was high on the list, but it's in Swahili too. So that'd be great.
Kelly, I have another question.
Sure.
On the page where you're filling out funding request form.
Yep.
Those 3 check boxes at the top where you ask, does it fit one of these? Is it adding a location? Is it reaching a larger number? Or is it kind of adding an aspect to a project? So those would obviously all be, if you're looking for funding to in some way expand or enhance an existing project. Is this also a place where people can ask for more or less startup funding for a new project, or is this really only a space for kind of existing projects?
No. If you have a program and you are addressing the root causes and it's a new program, that you don't have to click, you don't have to make hit all 3 of them. You just have to have one of the program has to meet one of them. So I would imagine if you had a new program that you were starting and you needed to hit the, you know, to address the root causes of your community, that would be sufficient. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have another question, Kelly.
Sure.
You know, is it okay to give your email address to some people, you know, would like to apply for a grant? You know, is it okay, or, you know, to give your email? I mean, you know, sometimes people, they don't like, you know, to.
Oh, no.
Wait, no.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
You're absolutely fine giving out my email address. My contact information is fine. And just to let you know, I manage a lot for Sisters Rising Worldwide. I do this full time, and it's and I manage a lot of different aspects. So we are bringing on a sister to help too. So there will be, and I think the sister might be bilingual in Spanish. So that would be really great. So we are looking to have that, but yes, we will go ahead and share my information. And coming next year, we'll probably have another sister helping me manage all you wonderful ladies. And, to help, it's depending on the country, depending on the situation, sometimes sisters can get on really easily. Some sisters, struggle a little bit, and we just want to make sure we have the resources to help you all.
I have a question for you, Kelly.
Sure.
I mean, I'm from India, and I don't know whether you're aware that we have a lot of problems where funding is concerned.
Yep.
With regard to transfer of money and all those kind of things.
I do know that.
You have, I'm sure, some experience of it. So
Yes,
how
we-
have you
we
been
do.
able to handle that? Because they're so suspicious about us in India.
Yeah,
especially
so-
because we are, with the present government, I would say it's even worse than it has been in the past, you see.
So I will tell you, we have done some work in Odisha. Are you familiar with Odisha?
Yes.
So we work with two sisters out there, and it was, we've transferred money there. It has returned sometimes, and we've had to resend it multiple times, depending on it. For the sister Libby, all of a sudden, for some reason, the money wouldn't go through her bank. So we actually sent it to Sister Remya because her banking information was going through. So we will figure out a way to do it. There was another country that, I can't remember, but we had to go ahead, it was South Sudan. We had to go ahead and transfer the money. We raised 20,000, but we only sent them 5,000 at a time because they didn't want people to know how much money was coming in, and they, were worried about getting robbed. And so we can be creative in how we get you the money, and we have been able to get money to India. Yeah, it's kind of hard when we have to keep taking it or sending it multiple times because it's a fee associated with that. But yes, we've done it. Yeah, we can do it.
That's kind of you to share this information, and also, we can work out something if there's anything that would be difficult. There are these problems that we have in our country.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you.
No problem. Anyone else?
I just want to add to that last question too, that once you're on the PeaceRoom platform, sisters who are in India can share their strategies about how you've managed to work around that little problem. This would be a good place for that conversation.
Sister Remya, she's the one that's figured it out the best. So, and actually she was the first sister. When we first did this, we helped some sisters get on that we had programs for, but she was the first sister that got onto the website. She sent in programs. She sent in a crisis alert. Her community really struggled with COVID. And she called me up one day and said, I don't know how I'm going to feed these people in my community. So she filled out a crisis alert, and we were able to raise $5,000 for her in, I think we did it in a week. But, we're not miracle workers, but every once in a while we get it all worked out. So, yeah. And we've funded, I would say like 29 programs for sisters so far. And one sister tells me, she goes, I call her and I said, I go, Sister Kathleen, I'm like, you're not returning Sister Irene's emails. We got the money for you that I think she asked for $42,000. And she goes, I thought that was just a joke. I was just doing it to be kind. Like, I didn't think there was any way you were going to raise the money for me. So anyways, it's kind of funny, but we have been able to help a lot of them, and we are anxiously awaiting to help you all too. But if no more questions, I'll finish on the last section of the PeaceRoom. Here we have the resource library, and I'm going to click on that. These are, this is where you can go ahead and put information that you find other sisters might value. So U.S. Catholic Sisters Against Human Trafficking, put information in there. And then you can also put a link in there so you can go directly to the article. But they felt that this article would really help other sisters that are addressing human trafficking, right? So here, this tells you a little bit about Sisters Rising. This was a podcast that Sister Irene did with Catholic Investment Services. And it was a great interview that, you know, if you want to just learn a little bit more about Sisters Rising and Sister Irene, it was a great podcast. So this is where the sister that is dealing with sex education, she would probably put some information in here too. And that way, addressing it with young women, like I got super excited when she was talking to me about it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, granted, I have all boys, but I'm like, this is great information for boys and girls to know, right? So I'm like, you need to share that information. And it is a step for women to kind of understand, you know, not to fall for some of the ploys that the traffickers are doing. So anyways, that is the research library. Once again, I can sort it through the different categories. So if I wanted, most of the things I think we have on there right now is with human trafficking, but you know, but you can look at the categories and see which category that you want to work, you know, that you're wanting to address. You just drag this bar. The other thing, if you're writing one, you'd click on the resource library and you'd go right here to the right tab. And that way you can just add it. You can bold it, you can add pictures. Like I said, you can add links. So, and then you just tell me the category it's dealing. Once again, that goes to us. We review it, make sure everything's okay, the links are working and everything, and then we would submit it. So right here, if you see on here, this is all my notifications, my message, my program, my crisis, my contact, my profile. That's all your sections, right? All the things that you're working on and you're addressing, right? Browse is how you find people, right? You can use the map and, you know, click on, let's say we click South Sudan. These are the programs that I probably entered these in for these women. These are some of our first ones. So, and then down here, we create a document. So those are the main steps that you would walk through. So does anybody have any questions? I can stop sharing. Actually, I may stop sharing. It's got to move my bar.
So is it a bit like Workplace, Facebook Workplace, the system?
I can't stop sharing, Teresa. Oh, we got a hands up. Nobody wants to see the boys. Let's see. Why won't it let me stop sharing? Where's my bar? Just, here it is. Oh, you did it. All right. Oh, we have a question. Sorry, I can't see that when I'm in.
Yeah, I'm Cynthia here. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
Is the system a bit like Workplace,
Oh, Workplace.
Facebook Workplace?
Facebook Workplace. I never used Facebook Workplace, so I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
Cynthia, did you want to ask yours?
I just want to say I created one account. I logged in, but I didn't put the program. So when you look, yeah, I didn't go ahead with that. I will do that. But I was able to create an account. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw you. Yep.
Yeah.
I think from your group, I noticed 3. I don't have everybody's name from this group, but I think that I had Sister Cynthia, Sister Carol, Sister Teresa. Go on. But yeah, so the first step is to go ahead and log on. Teresa, did you need me to go through the login or the how to log on? You want to go through those steps, or you want to just?
If you want to really quickly, just the couple of, since it's basically 2 slides, I think.
Yep, hold on.
And Cynthia, did you have any problem or any trouble logging on, or did it work fine for you?
It took me, I had received few times the code, and then I was trying. At the end I managed, yes.
Good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how that process was, because you know, some when people have struggles, it's nice to know, so you know we can make it easier for everybody. But just to give you an idea. Okay, so when you get to the PeaceRoom, you're gonna you copy this and put it into your web browser. This is the screen that'll show up. This is what it'll look like. We make this big button. You do not have an account yet when you're registering. Please do not put your email and or password, because it will not work. You will constantly have errors. All you do is click here. If you do have any problems, you can hear down here, it says having trouble signing in, you can hit contact us and it'll go to me. But click on this button. When you do that, you'll get these questions. What language do you want it in? Your name, your phone number with country code, your email, congregation. So just simple questions that you should be able to figure out. The email address of the congregation and the secretary. We just want to make sure that everybody filling out the information is an actual sister. So we do some, you know, if we don't know someone. Yes.
Kelly, for some of us have generalists that are not mother houses. Don't you really want, like, you're looking for the leadership address, is that right?
Email address, yep.
Yeah, okay, all right, because they're distinct entities, okay.
Right. You would tell us the work you do. If it's something different and you want to type something in manually, you can. And then this is where you tell us about yourself, and then you add a password. When yep.
Just to go back to the congregation information, for us, it would probably be our JPIC team that would be doing it. Would that be sufficient?
Anything that you fill in that we can validate that you are a sister.
Okay, so if we gave you out, that's
so
easy.
if Teresa right now, Teresa, if you gave me a list of people that have been attending these calls, I would go ahead and put it under your list. So when a sister came in and then she said she was part of JCOR during your talk, I would go to your list and I would do it so I could validate it quicker. Currently, sometimes and most of the sisters we have talked to, so we know, but sometimes I've had to go to, so I don't know if you guys know Sister Patty Johnson out of St. Louis. Yeah. She's actually my cousin. That's why I'm here. So I'm like, all right, Sister Patty, but you know, can you verify this? So we have different ways to verify if we don't know who the person is, but yeah. So anything that helps us verify who you are.
Okay.
Once again, all
Kelly, sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
See, we are working on more than one issue. So we can put, for example, domestic violence, education, empowerment. So we can put more than one, right?
Yeah. Yep. And let me back up. You bring up a question that kind of reminds me of something else that I was going to mention and I forgot. I'm going to give you an example. There's a sister in Peru, and every year she needs funding for therapists to help, or psychologists to help the students. All of our students come from like domestic violence, extremely poor, abuse. So she puts in the program, and then her funding request would be school year 21-22 or school year 20. And that's why, so you can have one program and you can have multiple funding requests underneath it. So Sister Remya too, she has a program in there, and then she broken up into 2 different funding requests. And I will tell you, like right now, we try to keep 12 programs at a time on the website. Right now, I think we have 7 because we've just filled a bunch. And so I have some in the queue getting ready to go on the website. So when you fill out, just because you're asking for funding, we will try to do our best to get them all on, but we only try to do 12 at a time so we can really highlight those and talk about those programs in our social media. So I just want to make sure when you ask for funding requests, it doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be on the website. It's a process to get there. So anyways, that's why we have a program, and that's why we have funding requests. So, and you can break it up. Let's say it could be kind like for a school, right? And you need 10,000 for scholarships, but you need, 5,000 for the playground, right? We might do one of those at a time, right? Because we try to make it doable we're not looking for programs that are probably $100,000. Usually we like to stay at about the $50,000 mark and under, make it more doable. And we've done a program at 65,000, but we try to keep it at the lower dollar amount to really help get you money quicker on that. I think the first one sister put in $1 million. I'm like, oh,
What?
we're not quite there yet. So anyways, but all right, so back to the login. So you see the screen, you fill it out. At the bottom, you'll have a sign up button, okay? It will not light up unless you have all the boxes filled out. Some sisters are struggling a little bit with this, so we are changing it a bit where if you click sign up, if you have boxes that aren't filled out, it will show you what's not acceptable. For instance, if you do the password and I put my password as password 123, it's not going to accept it. It's not secure enough. So you need to make sure you come up with a password that's unique, etc. And then that button will show up and then you can sign up. One thing to really, really remember, and Cynthia, you did a great job. When you get the first email you are going to get from us, as soon as you hit that submit button, is an email that says verify your email address. All you have to do is click this verify button when you get it. So this is what it's going to look like. You're just going to hit verify. Okay. You have nothing else to do with that email. Just hit verify. Okay. Then once I approve you as a sister, you will get a second email. And that second email is going to look like this. And I try to approve everybody within 24, 48 hours. And then what happens is you will get this email and you'll hit log in. Okay. That's all you have to do. Just hit log in. When you get to the login page, you're going to put your email and password in, and then you're going to get this 7-digit code. It is going to come to you on your cell phone and on an email. You take that code and you put it in there. You just type it in, and then you are on the PeaceRoom. And the reason why, it also, this validation is very common. I think it's going to be common practice everywhere, but it is a great way to go ahead and verify. You put your email in, right? You're putting in your phone number, right? Everything's correct on your end too. I'm sorry, was there a question?
I think it was just background, but if
okay.
you don't mind, I do have a quick question back, sorry, from the profile, or the initial profile page, the application page.
Okay.
You offer the option, there's that whole list of different types of work, and if yours isn't listed, you can add another one. Is there any way there could be that same add your own box for the justice issues as well? Because that is, I think it's a list of like maybe 8 or 9 there.
It's funny. We can add that it's actually on the PeaceRoom. It is available to add another social injustice. So you're right. We probably should have it here too. I think this also helps us categorize. We want to make sure that we can actually be able to sort people, right? Because I can sort programs and I can sort people by those. So it'd be great if we can at least have one of these so we can find somebody and then they can add one on the profile page if that's. But I would say, and I guess I asked this question, would anybody not fit into at least one of those categories, do you think? Because if so, then maybe we add another box and, add another.
I don't know if I'm going to do anything about this, but one of the areas that I work in is affordable housing. Does that fit in there someplace? I mean, I would type it in, but I don't see it there.
Okay.
And what would you do with people with children with disability Would that be just under education? You know,
that's
it's
what-
a little different.
Yeah. The program that we're doing in Ecuador is the government is not helping people with special needs. So they put it under health. And then we have a whole program on helping them. Yeah, all great suggestions. Shoot me emails. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm happy. And like I said, this is the first really, really rolling this out to the masses. So there are issues that are going to come up and we're happy to address them and work with them. Anyone else?
When I look at that list, I guess it depends on what your understanding is. Like take empowerment for issue. A lot of social justice issues could fit under empowerment.
Right. For sure. I think right now human trafficking and empowering women are the biggest two.
Yes. Need to clean my glasses, I think.
Anyone else? I'm gonna stop my sharing again. I don't know reason why it's not coming up on my Teresa.
Escape. Try escape.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, my name is Patricia, and I thank Sue McCarthy. I just wanted to say it was an excellent, informative session, and I just sent you an email with questions. I didn't want to hold people up, but thank you for today. I think it's a phenomenal idea, and I'm so excited to be working with or learning about religious across the country, taking care of people's needs. Thank you very much.
Oh,
The world.
thank you for joining us.
Kelly, could a group join, like say JCOR or Unanima International? There was a project.
I would say one sister would need to own it. They can do it on behalf of JCOR, but one sister would have to own it just so we'd be able to manage it better.
Kind of in the same way that like when an organization has a Facebook page, there has to be a specific user that's the editor first and has their own profile. It's kind of a similar setup like that.
Yes, you sisters made me join Facebook. I couldn't have a Facebook for Sisters Rising unless I had my own personal one. And I've never done social media at all. I'm not a big fan of it at all. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Oh. So then I only post about you guys, and then I always feel bad that I'm always posting about you instead, and then asking for money. And then so every once in a while I'll throw a picture in, of my dog or my boys, but it's like 2 personal posts a year, and then one a month for you guys.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So any other questions?
Yeah, Teresa, can you send us the link for the page? Because I went to Mr. Google and I got into Sisters Rising Worldwide, but I tried to add /PeaceRoom, but that didn't work.
So I will tell you that, right, if you went from the onboarding instructions, you'll have the link, or that you have to cut and paste it. But we are on the website where you see the Sisters Rising Worldwide, and then below there's a purple box that says join the movement. That actually is going to
came up as an associate.
Right. Well, I'm just we're changing that. So from the public website, you'll be able to get to the PeaceRoom. So we are changing that to make it a little bit easier for you all to get on.
Okay.
But that's coming soon.
Kelly and Teresa, thank you so much for everything. It's really been very helpful, stimulating for all of us.
Thank you.
I have a question, Kelly.
Sure.
So on the resource library,
Yep.
do we upload the individual organization or a group of network organization, information?
You can load whatever information you find appropriate that other sisters might benefit from reading or learning about. So I'm not sure what each one of those would look like, but it all goes through us and we can tell you if it should be tweaked a little bit before it's posted, but. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Sister Manju, a Dominican sister from India.
Yes, hello.
Hi, good evening, Kelly. I received your mail. Sister Dusty had sent me the information.
Oh, yep. Right before the call, I sent that out. Yep.
Yes. And she sent me this information also now online meeting. I'm very happy that you are doing such a great work to help us. I will be sending information about my province and the work we are doing because we are working for the marginalized section here in India. Mostly we are working with the tribals, Dalits, and minority groups.
Great. Yeah. It's get it on the system. We're really excited. There's going to be some growing pains as more and more people join and we kind of maneuver away. Like currently right now, programs are on there that are already funded. So we're figuring out a way to put that into the resource library where it'll be a tab for funded programs. So I can keep that out so I can keep the other space clean. But as we grow, just have any questions, give me a call because there'll probably be things that come up and I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kelly.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other questions before I jump off?
I'm Sister Sangeeta.
Hello.
From MSMHC congregation. I belong to Salesian family.
Welcome.
Thank you. We are running a home for women in distress, especially for trafficked women. Thank you for accepting me to join this meeting. I will send you all the information. I will prepare a profile and send you. Thank you so much.
Well, that would be great. Thank you. We are excited.
Thank you.
I think the group is all set, Kelly. So
Okay.
as I'll just echo everyone else's thanks for your time and your guidance and the invitation to ongoing guidance, as I'm sure that will continue to be helpful in getting us all fully on board and active on this platform. But it's a wonderful opportunity. So we're really grateful for all the work you've put in and the team has put in to make it possible.
No, I'm excited to be doing this for you all. So my husband's a workaholic. I retired. So this is what I do now. I help you ladies.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, you all have a great day and feel free to reach out at any time. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kelly.
Bye-bye.